West Asia is on an edge. The sound of explosions has returned to Iran. This time, reports of blasts emerged near Bushehr, which is home to Iran's only operational nuclear power plant. It is one of the most sensitive locations in the country, and any military activity in its vicinity immediately sends shockwaves far beyond the region. U.S. CENTCOM released these visuals to show the attacks that they carried out. On the other hand, the IRGC of Iran also released footage of its missile launches on American targets in the Gulf, particularly in Kuwait and Bahrain. American forces carried out another round of strikes inside Iran on Wednesday, targeting military infrastructure. Explosions took place near Bushehr, Bandar Abbas and Chabahar. Now, here's why Bushehr matters. Unlike Iran's controversial uranium enrichment sites at Natanz or Fordow, Bushehr is a working nuclear power plant. It generates electricity for millions. It also represents one of the most sensitive pieces of civilian infrastructure in the region. As of now, there is no official confirmation that the reactor itself has been hit or damaged, and there are no reports of any radiation leak. But just the fact that military action is taking place so close to an operational nuclear facility has set off alarm bells across the international community. Even as a near miss at such a site is enough to raise fears of a catastrophe that would extend far beyond Iran's borders. According to the U.S. Central Command, the strikes were aimed at degrading Iran's military capabilities and protecting international shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, for Washington, this is about deterrence. For Tehran, it is another act of aggression. And between these two positions lies a region that has spent months moving from one crisis to the next.
We have many ways we could win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago. They want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the route.
If they want to make a deal, why do you think they attacked commercial vessels?
Because it's sort of crazy, to be honest with you. They're sort of crazy. They're a little bit out of it too, but they want to make a deal. Badly.
U.S. President Donald Trump, in fact, delivered one of his strongest statements yet. He has claimed that Iranian hardliners want him assassinated. Take a listen.
All the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go. Right?
But was there a specific
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
Trump also declared that if Iran strikes again, the United States will respond with an even greater force.
We just hit them very hard. And I'd say we hit them 20-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20. And we did it last night. It did a little something today, but it was really retribution for last night. They hit actually 3 boats, not 2. And when they hit, we hit back much harder.
The message from Washington is unmistakable. America is escalating. The message from Tehran is also equally clear. Retaliation remains on the table. And in fact, it has been happening in the past few hours. On Wednesday, the U.S. Central Command completed a second day of strikes against Iran to further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping and innocent civilian mariners in the Strait of Hormuz. It also stated that the United States is holding Iran accountable for recent unjustified aggression against commercial shipping and civilian crews freely navigating a vital international waterway. According to Iranian authorities, the American strikes continued against ports in the Hormuzgan province. Media reports stated that 2 fishermen were killed while 2 others were injured. Iran responded by attacking American bases in Kuwait and Bahrain again. Meanwhile, Iran has also submitted a separate letter to the President of the United Nations Security Council as well as the UN Secretary General over these latest attacks, calling Washington's actions another blatant violation of Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the UN Charter and a fundamental breach of Article 1 of the Islamabad Agreement. Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai said the United States had challenged the provisions of the agreement through unilateral actions and military attacks, undermining the overall framework of the memorandum. Iran's press TV, citing sources, reported that the country could close down the Strait of Hormuz and strike twice as many targets if the United States launched further attacks. UN spokesperson Stephane Jurek said that a return to full-scale hostilities would have catastrophic consequences for the people of the region, for the international peace and security, and for the global economy as a whole. Meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz, remember, remains a vulnerable friction point. According to U.S. assessments, tanker traffic through the strategic waterway has largely stopped amid the current uncertainties. International Maritime Organization Secretary General Arsenio Dominguez said that hundreds of ships and around 6,000 seafarers remain stranded in the Gulf due to security concerns. Amid the escalated ground and aerial situation, train services between Tehran and Mashhad, where the late Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's funeral is due to take place, had been disrupted. Iranian media said that the line was targeted by an American strike. Whether diplomacy is still alive or not is increasingly difficult to tell at the moment. What is clear, though, is that the rhetoric has become sharper than ever. This is no longer a confrontation that affects only two countries. Within hours of the strikes, oil prices had surged as traders feared further disruption in Hormuz. Remember, this is the story of another dangerous turn in a conflict that is refusing to end.